Remember a few years ago when you had that fire kind of burning inside of you? You didn't really know what it was. You didn't know if it was some like divine being coming down on you and saying that you're on the path, you're on your purpose. For some reason, you were more like you enjoyed your fitness more and your relationships were better and you had like really close friends. And everything just seemed simpler. Everything just seemed like you were on the right path, regardless of what anyone else said, regardless of what you did, that you were doing all of the right things, that you felt disciplined and locked in, and you felt like you were doing what it is God had called you to do. This for me was around when I was 14. So this has been like, well, I guess it's been 3 years since then. This has been quite a journey for me, and I'm a lot more advanced now, but I'm going to be giving you the timeline. Around COVID, I was at the worst point in my entire life. I was heavily depressed. I was sleeping into like 1, 2 p.m. a day, going to bed at like 3, 4, 5 a.m., scrolling and playing video games. And I have thousands of hours in Minecraft and Roblox and all these different types of things. I was failing all of my classes. I was getting into arguments with my parents about everything. And it got to the point to where I was heavily suicidal. And I remember this moment will always stick with me. And until the day I die, I will remember it. I don't care if I'm, what's the word? I don't care if I have Alzheimer's. I don't care if I have dementia. I will remember this until the day that I die. I was in the kitchen. I was doing dishes. And our top rack is where you put all of the knives. I had picked it up. And right before I put it away, I had like this deep, it was like I was there. This deep visualization of, what if I just slashed upwards, like as deep as I could go? Like I pressed it fully in and then went up. I felt this presence when I did that. And it was like I literally had the hand of God telling me no. And weirdly enough, that's when Tate had blown up. That's when Hamza had blown up. And it felt like it was for me. And you might have a similar experience of being in your lowest point, maybe having some like self-improvement influencer, like masculine, like online guy who's now called a guru or a scammer, that actually made your life improve heavily. Around this time, I had got into fitness, and fitness saved my life. I wasn't like an atheist anymore. I believed in God, but I was what we would consider like agnostic. Like I believed there was something. I didn't know if I wanted to be like a Muslim or a Christian, or like I heard my dad was a Buddhist and I heard about Buddhism, and like Hinduism was a thing, but it was kind of weird because like I thought they worshipped cows at the time, and like it was strange, and I wasn't smart enough to learn anything. I know that Hindu people don't worship cows. Don't shoot me, but I thought that then. I was like 13 years old. Calm down. And around 8th grade, right when I had got back from school, I was a social retard. I am genuinely like autistic. So a lot of people make jokes about like, oh, I love how autistically detailed this is. Like I am genuinely like an autist. My dad's diagnosed. I have a lot of the symptoms. He thinks that I'm not, but I probably am. And I come back. I actually was in not like great shape again. I was 13 years old, 14 years old. I've been training like just by doing push-ups every single day. I'd been meditating a bit. I still didn't have very good sleep, but it felt like everything I was doing was worth it. That I felt like I was in the highest point of my life, that I was going to get rich in 1 year and I was going to have the jack physique and like I was going to have all the girls. And I remember this one thought, and it keeps coming to me, so I'm going to say it, and I don't know where this is leading, but I remember this one thought. My first period, the first class I had been in, the first day back at school, there was this one girl who is now like, I still go to school with her. She's like a cheerleader, and she's not as pretty as she used to be because like most people go downhill. But she was beautiful, like brown caramel girl, like makeup, glasses, like absolutely gorgeous. I thought consciously, and I still remember the thought because I cringe at it because I'm like, I was so naive. I was a loser. I was like, that's the type of girl I'd date. First day coming back. I was a social retard. I couldn't talk to people. I couldn't speak to people. I tried like the talking to girls thing. It didn't work. But by the end of the year, after meeting some of my best friends, Hayden and Daniel, shout out to Hayden if he still watches me. I don't talk to him anymore. Shout out to Daniel. I don't know if he watches me, but he's my best friend currently. we'd gone on this path of self-improvement together where all three of us would get into fitness, and we were all meditating and practicing our mental health and talking to girls and doing better. It got to the point to where one school dance we were all hanging out, we were dancing, we were screwing around, like out trying to do handstands and stuff and whatever. And it got to the point to where I was actually asked out by a girl. And I was like, whoa, this hasn't happened before. And that girl eventually ended up being like my third ever girlfriend, I think, other than like elementary school, but that's a side point. And during that time, everything just felt like it was working until it wasn't. Next year, 9th grade year, I was 15 and still on the climb. This is when I got into the habit of talking to 10 new people every single day, and I did this for months. I talked to hundreds, maybe even over 1,000 people within just a span of a few months. And I felt amazing. I was in my best shape. I had gotten into wrestling, so I had like this masculine like brotherhood. I was getting into online business, and I still hadn't made money, but I was actually on like around the same size of YouTube channel I had now, maybe a little bit less popular. I had like 200 subs. Now I have like 300 different channels, different topics, all that type of stuff. I felt great. Got with a girl, and weird dynamic. Her family, for some reason, hated me because I was a fuckboy. I'd only had like a handful of girlfriends at this time, and I'd let a few people on and whatever. I'd maybe at like 5, 6 at this point total, which kind of makes sense. 15. Honestly, thinking back on it, the parents were right. Like I was a bit of a fuckboy back then. Got with that girl, weird, like 7 months, and I'd kind of got complacent. I kind of stopped making progress at that point. That was kind of weird. There was this one girl who my friend was dating who was like the next major girlfriend I had. I had dated like a few other girls because that's like the masculine character guys do. I became Christian around this time, like saying I was Christian. I didn't necessarily understand the religion at all. Just like I felt most inclined with that religion. And fast forward to next year, I had like maybe 3, 4 more girlfriends. Stupid. Fast forward to next year, my sophomore year, I was in 10th grade, 16. A few more girlfriends again. I had lost some of it. I stopped doing like positive mental health habits. I didn't care as much about my fitness. I'd stopped wrestling because I wanted to go in on like calisthenics, right? So I actually got pretty good at calisthenics. I say I stopped with my fitness. I guess I mostly stopped like the health aspect. It was mostly just to maximize calisthenics. I got to like 1-arm pull-ups, and I got to 110 pounds for 5 reps on weighted pull-ups, like chin over bar. I had gotten to some of the most, like the best muscle-ups on social media. I had gotten amazing results. 90-degree handstand push-ups, 67 handstand push-ups in one workout without using a wall, without any support, without anything. All me, I was doing 8 in a row, just like boom, 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 boom. Easy. I got with a girl at this time, and that's when my fire really died down. It's not her fault at all. It's completely mine. I'd gotten this like weird feminine energy that had seeped into me from her. And I was complaining more. I wasn't hanging out with friends. I didn't care about my fitness as much. I didn't care about my health as much because I was like on the phone with her all the time. We were hanging out, and it was like fun because we were like very sexual with one another. And that was the first. That's like where I lost like this card. That's a letter V, by the way. And it felt fun, but I was just replacing purpose with cheap dopamine, essentially. And that's what I think a lot of guys do, is that your fire has gone out because you're replacing it with something that you enjoy, but you don't actually grind on. You scroll, you play video games, you're hanging out with, or you're talking to girls that you think you're going to marry. You may even know that you're going to marry, that you're going to stay with, but it just seeps away at your energy. You want to start that online business. You want to be more productive, but you're like, no, I have to focus on my woman, and like, oh, but my daily win streak on the Fortnite and all these things. It had gotten to the point to where, long story short, I had broken up with the girl, and for around 2 months, I wasn't depressed, but I was sad. Up until the point of now, I'm back to the OG roots. I'm not on social media at all. I'm not playing games. I'm the most social I've ever been. My mom was making a joke the other day. We had went to a farm to like feed animals with my nephew. I'm like flirting with the farm girl, not getting in any relationships again, staying completely single for preferably a year if something happens and something happens, but preferably at least a year. I'm in the best period of my life. And I'm sure that energy radiates onto you when you watch these videos. When you see my work and you see my passion, you see me giving these stories, and I'm trying to be open and honest and give you the best advice I possibly can. I'm sure you see that. I'm in the best, maybe not like the best shape I've ever been, but I'm certainly doing the most fitness. Yesterday alone, I did 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, at least. I did way more than that, but that was like the minimum that I did is like my workout. And then I did a bunch of side stuff with like weights and all that type of stuff. I was biking for 2, 3, 4 hours a day in like chunks. I was boxing and I was trying to get people to spar, but nobody would spar me. So I just kind of like hit the bag upset for a little bit. Like I was skipping first thing in the morning. I was doing all of these things. I was working hard on my business and playing chess and reading and all these things. I'm in the best period I've ever fucking been. And the reason is my fire is back. I'm aggressively going after what it is that I want. And it's just success in every possible way. I believe there are 5, and I say this almost every video now. I believe there are 5 key things that you need in order to be a happy, healthy, successful person. How in tune you are with your faith. And I'm not going to like use proper language for this. I guess I'm just going to go over the 5 pillars. Your spirituality, your relationship with God, or whatever you believe. I personally am a Christian. I believe Christ is the way, the truth, the life. If you disagree, then that's completely fine, but that's where I'm at. So for me, it would be my Christianity. For you, it could just be religion or spiritual belief, whatever. Your mental health, your fitness, your relationships, and then your work. I've noticed these last 4 can kind of shift. This mental health one kind of has to be at 2 or 3. I will always believe that if you're not believing in God, if you're not trying to serve, if you're like indulging in sin purposefully, then you'll be more empty than fulfilled. I believe this will always and should always be number 1, even if it isn't in your life or in my life or whatever, even if we make mistakes. This one can kind of switch between 2 and 3, mental health. This one can rotate between all 3. Maybe it can take up 2, depending on your period. Again, if this is a stupid example. If mental health is in 3, then one other thing will be in 2. These 3 can switch depending on the period that you're in, and it doesn't matter. Point is, my purpose is to do the best at doing my best. And at least for the next 3 or so years, I've proven to myself through my like calisthenics journey. If you've been around this channel for a while, like less than 300 subs, you know that I was like a calisthenics YouTuber for a while. I had a paid product, I had courses, and I was known by like some of the best guys in this space as like the dude who gave good advice and all that type of stuff, and who was making good progress and all those types of things. I was known as that guy. And I didn't enjoy it for like a year and a half. I know full well I can dedicate myself for 3 years, do this thing, make 10, 20, 30K a month, reach. My goal in the next 3 years is 1 million subscribers. I want like a nice compound with my trainers and with my friends. And as a matter of fact, let me show you, just to speak this even further into existence, to show to God that I'm willing to do this. This is my content planner. I read this every single day. And it's not like weird affirmations, because literally the first post that I made was, where is it? I don't know where it is. I lost it. It's called Affirmations Are Bullshit. Oh, wait, it's here. Affirmations are so stupid, and then I renamed it to Affirmations Are Bullshit. Not in an affirmations way, but in a way of, this is my purpose for now. Purpose changes, ebbs and flows, and all these types of things. But this is where I'm at. And that's who I am as of now. So I want to ask you one more time, where did your fire go? And if you want it back, then you need to use everything as you possibly can to drive. I should say, to give you drive. And the thing is, your purpose isn't binary, it's a continuum. Search for purpose, search for meaning. It doesn't matter what it is. If you're doing the 5 things I said before, this isn't like a religious thing. This is just like a general, like personal philosophy type thing. So don't take it as like some weird cult type thing. Like just take it simply. Don't make it an idol. 5 things: relationship with God, mental health, fitness, relationships with people, and then your work. If you're doing well in those 5 things, and those things merge as well as possible, then you're doing well, and you're on path to being your best self. If you don't know where to start, or maybe you want a little bit of help with a community and guides from me and all that type of stuff, I have a free lock-in protocol in the description. I also have a newsletter where I give you daily motivation, daily emails, messages from me, giving you motivation, helping you with your drive, giving you wisdom, whatever, giving you stories to go off of that you know not to make the same mistakes that I have and I did. If you're interested in either of those, go to the link in the description. Do it right now. Take action on this. But without anything else left to say, my name's been Brandon. Keep doing the best, doing your best. Trust God. Signing off.